So we have some show concepts to consider today in New York. I'm gonna go back, bitch. We're gonna figure a way back there. It's hot, so I gotta do this. Gotta put on easy. Okay, so I'm thinking first episode, I'm gonna do that instead. I'll turn off this. Perfect. Hello. Hi. Welcome to whatever, because we don't have a name. This is so funny to me because this is literally like a concept or idea that I just came up with off my ass 20 minutes ago. Texted, like, I'm already talking about the musical components to this show, the graphic design for the illustration. I'm talking, like, we need to come up with at least 5 different episode ideas and rough drafts or, like, rough scripting. Not too much scripting, because I want a lot of, like, our natural identities, our natural perspectives, the things that we would say on our own. I want that to come out and flow for itself. I don't want that to be like mass produced or thought of as like, you know, something I created through whatever. But I'm thinking for my first episode, quarter life crisis, we're talking about like, we could even be funny with it, call it midlife crisis at 25, you know, because then it's like, bitch, that's not a midlife crisis. But really, it do feel like it, because it's like, this is the pinnacle of our lives, and this is where it, like, I feel like truly matters. I know that, like, you know, people say that, like, there's not one path in life, and that is very true. You know, like, you could struggle to make it, and then be 40 and finally make it. You could be 60, come up with a business concept, boom, bam, you're like rich as fuck, and you're like, why didn't I do this like 30 years back? But, and it's not even like, what am I trying to get at here? Like, me talking about this right now is not to be like, oh, this will certainly, what is it, like, these are the steps in which you should take to get to where you need to be in life. This is it's not it at all, because first off, I'm not even there yet. Truth be told, myself, I just graduated with my undergraduate's degree in media studies, and that was something that took me about, I want to say, 5 or 6 years to complete, with some gaps in between. And going through that, I will say it was a struggle. And it wasn't a struggle academically, by no means. It was more so the, like, everything else that comes with life and livelihood, and things that you might have not acknowledged younger, but, you know, becomes more prevalent or gets louder. You know what I mean? So, like, whether that had to do with my mental health, the state of my mental health at the time, and still current. We have so mental health. We have different relationship dynamics that came into play to, like, kind of like either lead me astray or lead me on the right path. We have both in I think everyone's stories. You have those individuals that kind of like take you down a route that maybe you shouldn't spend too much time in, and then you have those who, like, by the grace of God, like, you know, who end up coming out to, like, to take on these roles of, like, kind of like guardian angels on earth. Like, I truly believe, like, I have those people in my life, and there's one specifically that I think about, and, like, the importance of having that friendship, and how, like, the involvement of, like, thoughts and confidence and ego and getting over rejection. And this was a new one for me. I'm not gonna lie to you. This was a very new concept for me. I didn't realize how much I feared rejection. I didn't realize how much like, maybe I did subconsciously, but it was never something that I talked to about myself, and I talked to myself a lot. So, it was strange. It was weird. It was uncomfortable, especially hearing it from someone else. To kind of like tell them my story, and then like for their analysis to come up with, you have a fear of rejection. I was like, a fear of who, what, where? I don't have a fear for nothing except the Almighty Himself. But for real. And serial killers, stalkers, any of that. Keep them away. Take them away. But yeah, fear of rejection. I have such a like perfectionist personality. I would much rather not turn something in if there's something wrong with it. I'd rather like take that, throw it out, toss it aside, new projects, new idea. And that is where I was fucking up in my 20s, is that I would have all these ideas and I would think like, oh my god, girl, like, you're brilliant, you're smart as hell. And like, you would know that if you're my friend, because I'm constantly like dropping gems as far as like business ideas and like different avenues people could take, and making money and doing this and doing that. But like, I was never able to do it for myself. Or like, I would come up with these ideas, but I never felt like I had the revenue or the capital to be able to do that. And so that's why I was just like, impossible. And I think that's just like a wrong way of going about things. I think rather than like creating this podcast with the idea in mind that I need to be number one today, girl, I just started. Like, I don't even know what I'm doing for real. And I think we need to be more honest about that. Be more honest about the fact that like, we are not going to be number one on our first attempt. And I realized that like saying it out loud, like, I'm like, this is common sense, girl. This is common sense. But it really wasn't. There was a block going on right here, and it did not translate at all for me. Like, the whole idea that like if you just allow yourself to, oh, why do I have my room? It's just so funny how like when I say this now, it comes like, it's like well, duh, you know what I mean? Like, that's what I want to say, but that's not what I was thinking. It wasn't, well, duh, for the 21, 22, 23 and so on. I'm now about to be 26, and I'm just now like, girl, just do, just produce, just make, just create. And that's the thing about me, is like, I struggled with my creative identity. I didn't know how to like claim anything in life. Like, you have people that go through through their schooling, and in the end they know exactly the title in which they'll claim. You have computer programmers, you have nurses, like RNs or whatever, you have your fucking physician assistant, you have teachers, you have lawyers, you have, if you want to be a paralegal, go be a paralegal. Like, there's steps and like ways in which you can go and do that. And I never understood how to even like label or define what it is I wanted to do. I struggled so much. I remember going into college, and like, in my first year, I was a digital media video production major. And I remember just like we were in a circle, and people would be asking like, oh, like, what is it that you want to do? Like, what role exactly do you want to do? Like, do you want to be AD? Do you want to be PA? Do you want to be, like, do you even want to be in the production room? Do you want to be outside of that realm? Are you looking more for social media marketing? Are you looking for this? Are you looking for that? And for the longest time, if you know me, if you've ever talked to me about work, especially back in my early 20s, I felt like Like, I didn't know, and so I'm just gonna come up with any answer to like make it seem like I know what I'm doing in life. And I often like that often resulted in me being like, oh, like, you know, like I'm interested in social media marketing. Not at all, bitch. Like, not at all. I'm actually more interested in like me being the focal point of like what I'm producing and what I'm like putting out there. Like, growing up, like, I just feel like I had such a unique perspective. And how do you not when you're a refugee, you're an immigrant, you're a Black American woman in America. You're a Black woman in America. Like, there's so many different things interwoven into my identity. I want to write. I love writing. I think to know me is to know my writing. I'm so grateful that I sought books the way that I did. I'm so happy that I sought that escape in books, because it really just like made me fall in love with the world and the idea of what you can create. And that's, I guess, like where my storytelling came from. That, and like including like my mom's like tarat in the tub. Like, I remember like growing up and just like she'd be telling us stories like these Ethiopian like folklores and shit like that. You know, she'd be like tarat, and you're supposed to respond with yalam. Mind you, like, we're these young Ethiopian American kids that barely speak the Amharic language. I do understand, for the most part, I really do understand a lot of what, a lot of the Amharic language. As far as like speaking it like confidently, not so much. Like, I definitely struggle, and I do like psych myself out because of like how I talk or like my voice. It's definitely, I definitely don't sound Habesha, or I don't sound like I don't know what you want to call it, but I've gotten white girl, like, oh, you sound like a white girl speaking Amharic. And so yeah, maybe that's eating at me a little bit, and maybe stop getting like akalo. Like, I do know my words, like I do know my language, I do know my heritage. That is something that I was so proud of growing up. You don't understand. If I could wear the Ethiopian bandera every day, I would, and I did. And I did. I remember it got to a point where I was older in life, and maybe like, I'm talking about like high school, and I was like, okay, maybe I should like lessen it, like diet it down a bit, because this is becoming like a regular like is it too much? Like, is it too much that after everything I say I'm Ethiopian? Girl. But it was like that, I was proud. And it's like, how are you not proud to come from a culture like that? How are you not proud when like you're watching all of like the travel like channel, and like you have Anthony Bourdain going to Ethiopia, and you're just like, yeah, eat it up, eat it up, eat it up, eat it up. Because it's just like the cultural impact, the historical impact. I'm such a history buff. I love history. I love, like, I'm not going to confidently speak on a lot of things, but you give me multiple choice and I promise you I'm getting a 95. I don't care what it's on. I'm, for the most part, going to get it. Like, I just know a lot. I just know a lot. And I psych myself out a lot, which is the worst part about me. But yeah, same thing with my perfectionist thing. Like, I don't like to speak on things that I don't know for sure, but for the most part, I do know it. It's like a 99%, and that 1% will hold me back. It is crazy. It's crazy how my mind works, but it's also so funny and interesting. And it's like something that, like, it's so funny saying that I'm interested in my own mind, but it's true. Like, I've always been like, girl, you cracked me up. Like, talking to myself. Is that not crazy? I don't know. But yeah, so, you know, early 20s, like, what can I say? We had so much going on in that time, so much that I had to unpack, trauma-wise, whether that had to do with childhood trauma, things that I went through when I lived in New York in my, like, early 20s. I was 19, I think, when I first moved there. Things that went on there that I kind of like blocked out, and then allowed myself to remember. And I think that's so important to like look back, and that's what I've been doing for how many years now. It's like looking back, reflecting, thinking back, reflecting. And then I found myself in a relationship that, you know, ended. I was engaged at one point. I was, I think, 24. I was 25, engaged. It lasted about 8 months, and I got out of that. I felt like I lost myself for real. It was really bad. And I coped a lot. Like, if I could like turn my brain off, I would. And I did. And I did for over a year. And like, to anybody else, the use of it's like, okay, like you're doing it for fun, to relax, to enjoy yourself. But for me, it was like, I need to turn this brain off. I need to turn this brain off because I'm going to lose my mind. I'm going to, like, it went there, it got there, and it did multiple times. And it shocks me how I still continue to prevail. Because like I've had some dark moments, and it feels like alone, and it feels like no one else will ever understand, or that like you put yourself in these situations, or like, oh, that's so rude. And then I don't know, like it just, it's so old. That's so sad. Girl, I gotta go to work soon. I really don't want to, but fuck. I've been talking, and I feel like a lot of this shit eats down, and I feel like it's honest, and I can't wait. And thank you for listening, because I know nobody's really listening right now. But like one day, you know, I'm gonna save this video, and I'll put it out there one day. And fuck, it's just like, I really like want to commit. I want to change. I don't want to stay where I'm at. I've felt stuck for a while, like 3 years now. I want to say age 20. I've felt stuck for almost 6 years now. And I need to make a move, because if this ain't it, then I don't know how much longer I've got. Like, I really don't know. It's really like come down to that, because it's like, I tie a lot of my self-worth to like what it is that I'm doing, and the state of my mind, like state of my mental health. And it's like the state of my mental health will go to shit if I'm not doing something yet, you know. And it's already been there, and I just can't stay there much longer. It's a dark space, and I need an outlet. I need an outlet for like everything that I want to put out there in the world, because girl, I'm telling you, it'll be worthwhile like to watch me, I think. And I'm not just saying it from like some narcissistic, like, oh my gosh, she's so into herself type beat. No, I just think, I don't know, maybe I'm not, because I do get like very, very few comments from people, and I think it's funny who it comes from. They tend to be people that I associate with, like, you're more. I come from a family that like is so used to tearing each other apart, and so when I'm in a space where like I feel elevated, pushed up, pushed forward, or thought of in good light, then it shocks me and makes me think like I could do anything in the world. And I need to get out of that bubble and go into this new one. And when I'm in that new one, I wanna fucking prove that last bubble wrong. I wanna be, I just wanna be happy, you know. I wanna be happy.